Alright, so this is a story about when I became aware of other people's perspective on me being white. Okay, so like I've said in the other video, I came from a predominantly non-white neighborhood. It was my family and lots of non-white families, mostly Caribbean American and African American. Because that we were white and in a low-income neighborhood, no one thought we should be there. Literally no one thought we should. When my parents first moved to the neighborhood, they were targeted by the police because, of course, white people in the hood, that means they want drugs, so they must be part of some drug rink. Okay, whatever. That's what the cops can assume. And then all the non-white people in the neighborhood assumed that we were snitches because that's why we were there in the neighborhood. Because white people wouldn't just come to the neighborhood. That wouldn't make sense. So what ended up happening was eventually, after like 10 years of, being there, people don't think that anymore. However, the cops never really got used to the idea of white people being in the hood. And it was made blatantly aware to me one day when I was going to pick up my friend Shaq from his house with my brother. We were walking down the street, and it was a blizzard, because, we're in Connecticut, and there was a blizzard. We're walking down the street, and these two white guys drive by in a car, and they're both wearing sunglasses in a blizzard. And my brother says, "Eamon, look, those are cops." I'm like, "Come on, Michael, you can't just point out cops." And he's like, No, those are cops." And he very clearly pointed at them. And they drive on by. We get in the car. They get to the end of our street and turn very, very sharply and drive and stop my brother from pulling out. "Why are you pointing at us?" I was pointing out to my brother that there were police in the neighborhood. My brother isn't really a tactful person, but that's what I'm saying. "You trying to point out the cops? You got something to hide?" "No." "Why are you in the neighborhood?" My parents run a non-profit ministry in that house right there." Uh-huh. "Where you live?" "At the non-profit ministry right over there." "Uh-huh. No, why are you here?" "Because I live here." "You don't live here." "Yeah, I do." And they left after my brother asked if he could have their badge numbers, just because you're allowed to ask for the badge numbers. And when we get harassed by cops, we ask for badge numbers, and they quickly stop harassing us. But yeah, that made it very clear that I did not belong in that context because I was white in a non-white neighborhood, which was just not okay by anyone's standards. And yeah, that's a story about me being from the hood, but not supposed to be being from the hood because of being white.